So, in other news, LVMH has officially sold Off-White.
They owned like 60%, right?
Yeah, they sold their portion of Off-White.
They sold it to like not like private equity, but it is like a company that deals with.
They sold it to a company called Bluestar Alliance, which has Hurley, Scotch and Soda, BB, which I had no idea that was still even a brand. English Laundry, I don't know what that is, and Brookstone.
Brookstone, like where you would sit in the massage chair
I think
and
so.
play with the
Yes.
gadgets.
Yes.
Or is that
or is that Brimstone? No, Brimstone is a
restaurant?
Brookstone. Yeah, so like I don't know, but first of all, it was Virgil's birthday the day that they announced that they sold it.
Damn. Do you think that's disrespect or what?
I think that's a little disrespectful, especially to sell a brand to someone that has Hurley and Scotch and Soda.
I wonder if they're going to keep the same creative director. And honestly, the brand's been really floundering ever since his passing. It is a shame that I don't think that it should have continued on like past. And they had invested a lot of money and they had opened brick and mortar and all this stuff like prior to his passing. But I just don't know if there was actually like enough history of the brand
To continue. Yeah, I wonder what will happen to the storefront in Miami. Like, do you think that this company has enough to like sustain Off-White as it is? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna, I don't know. Because I always like to ask, this is my favorite ask, like, who is this for? Mm-hmm. Who is shopping this? I think it's gonna go in a direction of like Philip Plein.
Oh.
Unfortunately, because I don't know, like, who's the client for that? Like Eastern European, maybe, because it's not like cool people are wearing Off-White. Like you and I, cool people, are not going to Off-White. I'm not calling for Off-White.
And I don't shop there for my clients.
No, like dudes don't want that. Just kind of corny dudes.
It's weird. It's like the young dudes kind of want it, but I don't know. I haven't really been able to gauge because like I had a client that did ask me for some Off-White stuff and I was like confused about it.
I feel like the allure of Off-White was Virgil, because even when you like, if I think about people talking about it, they were like Virgil, like talking about him by name. It's not like it wasn't Off-White.
I think you're right. And I think it's just like anything else. When a creative director leaves a house, like some people will stop buying that brand. Like Matthew Williams was at Givenchy. I was buying Givenchy for my clients. Matthew Williams is no longer at Givenchy, so I will not buy Givenchy for my clients. I like Matthew Williams. That's who I was buying.
Yeah.
I imagine that Eddie Slimane has the same concept with Saint Laurent.
100%.
Like people want Eddie Slimane Saint Laurent. They don't necessarily want
Anthony Vaccarello
Saint Laurent.
Yeah, exactly. So it will work in a standing brand. Like, it's typical for creative directors to roll through houses. But if the DNA of the brand was very short-lived, because like Off-White, it was maybe a decade, not even.
Yeah, probably like 2012 or something.
Before his passing. Mm-hmm. And then the allure of it is actually him, the persona. Because I think beyond anything else, like, I don't think this is really controversial. I think a lot of people aren't ready to hear this. I don't think his actual design work was like groundbreaking or anything. I think he understands aesthetics, and he understood aesthetics and what was cool and creating desire around things.
Yeah, I think he's a researcher.
Yes.
He was a very, very good researcher, and I think he had a way of delivering what he's researched in a very like unique way, I guess. But it wasn't, for me, it was like you said, it's never been like top for me, and especially I've always been the girl that like if everyone is on something, like I'm not on that.
Yes.
Like everyone with the yellow construction belt. what is it? What are those called? It's an actual mechanism that we use.
Yeah, like for moving furniture.
Yeah.
Like those straps.
What are they called? Ratchet straps. There you go.
Ratchet is right. Ah,
Ratchet straps.
But yeah, like maybe probably the only time I was kind of sniffing around the brand was like early days Nike collabs.
Yes.
But even
possible.
Those went off the rails at the end too, and nobody's buying those now. Do you remember?
No.
They were impossible to get.
You know what's so wild to me also? The state of the sneaker culture.
Yes.
Like
Did you
the resale culture is like in shambles.
When Nike leaned heavy into the dunks trend and then they were like overproducing, that like just
oversaturated everything.
They oversaturated the market, and that's when everything started kind of getting a little crazy, especially with resale. But that's pretty typical with like sneaker culture. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
There are times where people like it becomes mainstream and people are really into sneakers.
It had a really good run.
It did.
This last time.
The CEO just stepped down.
I saw that. Did we talk about that?
No, I don't think we did. But it was recent.
Yeah, it was recent. Yeah. Crazy, because I was thinking like just like things are not reselling for what they would have been previously. Like things are selling for like under retail,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's like a kind of just like it's emblematic of the state of the sneaker industry.